just say that this going back and forth with personnel files serves absolutely nobody.
All right, a lot of finger pointing and hard feelings remain tonight after the firing of former Superintendent Earnest Winston. CMS board members holding an emergency meeting releasing more of Winston's personnel file to, quote, maintain the integrity of the board.
Queen City News reporter Will Lewis is live in the studio to break down this new information that we learned today. And Will, this is kind of a mess that played out.
It is a mess, and there's a lot of finger pointing going on right now, Brian and Alicia. The CMS board chairperson says she's disappointed the meeting even had to happen and that releasing these documents helped no one. But the board released this recent letter to correct what members call inaccurate statements. Superintendent Earnest Winston was evaluated in 7 job function areas before being terminated for convenience last month. Tensions between the CMS board and Winston may have started in March, according to a letter from Winston's attorney. A letter released to the media by CMS board member Dr. Ruby Jones with the permission of the former superintendent.
Ms. Dashew brought all this ballyhoo to the board using outside sources to say that Ernest is a good man but not a competent man. And you might as well spit in my face.
The letter, dated March 30th and written by attorney Glenn Brock, stated the board didn't adhere to the code of ethics by telling Winston to meet with the CMS general counsel and the chief compliance officer for an hour every 2 weeks. Also, that the board told Winston to fire or reassign his chief of staff.
This going back and forth with personnel files serves absolutely nobody. And if it wasn't for the board having to correct the record, we would not be here today.
CMS released a response to Winston's letter dated April 4th, which laid out the roles of the CMS board and the superintendent, saying in part, the superintendent, general counsel, and chief compliance officer all report to the board, and all 3 are supposed to work collaboratively. Each board member was allowed 60 seconds to speak, and you could still hear the tension.
Dr. Jones, that's 60 seconds. Thank you. That's 60 seconds. Thank you.
Now, we reached out to Earnest Winston and his attorney, but have not received a response. Those letters are now available to the public, and we've placed a link on qcnews.com.